Hey Scorpios, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be doing your February general reading here. So I just did meditation for you guys and I was taken immediately to the seashore. And I heard the song Sandcastles by the beloved Beyonce. And I saw, those metal detectors that folks will use on the beach to find, discarded jewelry or pieces of metal or whatever have you on a beach. I saw the Scorpio Collective using one of those on the beach. And I saw all of these items being found, right? And then being put into a pile right in front of the water line. Okay, so all of these found items were put in a pile. And I heard the words, building a monument to your sadness. Building a monument to your sadness. It feels like the sadness is directly related to the past because a lot of these things that I saw in this pile, was like built up into this pile, which came to form like kind of like a triangle image, right? Triangles feel incredibly important. We'll see how they come up or not, but triangles in particular feel incredibly important. Was Pythagoras a Scorpio? I don't know, but triangles feel important. So I saw this image, right? And it feels like this monument to your sadness had a lot to do with the past. Some of it the recent past, some of it 2020, some of it, even further back than that. But I got this very distinct feeling that this building a monument to your sadness was the opposite of dwelling in it. It was actually excavating it purposefully, mindfully, willingly, excavating it, taking it out and going, I acknowledge you. I acknowledge you. I see you. I am building you a monument. Why? Why build a monument to your sadness? Why build a monument to, what has hurt you and not going your way and your past pain and your disappointment and your disillusionment and your fear and your anger and your losses and all of this stuff? Why build a monument to it? And why was it at the seaside, right? When I think about the ocean, I think about the healing properties of salt water, especially for empaths, but in general, right? They are a remover of energy, and they're a cleansing agent, removing you of anything that is not yours. Oh, look, at the bottom here's a starfish. Hello. Anything that is not of your highest and best good, right? Salt water, that cleansing, healing agent that it is. But it's interesting because I feel like it's the act of building the monument that's the point. Because I don't want to say, like it feels very purposeful that I don't say, you're building a monument to your sadness so that you can release it into the cleansing waters of the sea. I don't think so. It doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel like why you're doing it. But it does feel like there is again, like I said, a mindful, willing, purposeful practice of building a monument to your sadness. And I don't feel like it's to dwell in it either, because to dwell in it, you would have left it underneath the sand, right? Interesting. Let's see what comes up. Scorpios. Okay. So we got the crocodile here. Hello, water energy for my water sign. You know what I say, like whenever I'm reading for a particular element and then they get an animal that is of that like element, it is always a sign to me that they are in and of alignment for this time period, which is stunning and wonderful, and I love it. Let's talk about crocodiles. So first of all, water here again. Crocodiles are very much about timing, but they also equate to a bit of a Four of Cups energy, interestingly enough. Four of Cups, which can denote a sort of dissatisfaction with one's lot, wishing it were slightly different, underwhelmed, right? The Four of Cups is the great underwhelm effect, right? But there's also an aspect with the crocodile of timing being so important, because a crocodile knows, right? First of all, one of the crocodile's greatest gifts being a hunter, and as a hunter, a predator, I should say, and a carnivore, is that they're able to blend in with their environment and thus escape notice until they're ready to jump on that prey. So they understand that when they get that sweet spot where they're able to blend into their surroundings and the right piece of prey comes along and it's just close enough, right, where it can get to it, that's brilliant timing and they're fed. But if they move too soon or too late, they could either reveal their position to the rest of the, of the folks around, the animal kingdom around. It's like, hey, don't go in that northeast corner of the riverbanks. There's a crocodile over there. And it's like, oh God. Now I've been revealed, I gotta move and everything else, right? So again, with the timing. But there's also an aspect of this as well where when I think about, cold-blooded creatures, they really are masters at reserving their energy to a perfect and fine point, right? So there's a reserve of energy. There's an understanding that just as much as there's a time to be active and busy, there is such a time to be still. Right? And they don't place, energetically speaking, too much emphasis on, I place my self-worth on how busy I've been or how much I've accomplished. I actually place, rather focus on and feel like I've had a good day, right? If I was simply participating in whatever way I showed up that day, if I participated, then that's great. Job well done. Right? Now it also relates to a dragon energy. You see that either with the dragon, which is about seeing yourself and others clearly, right? Interesting, with the building a monument to your sadness and the Four of Cups, which is kind of like a dissatisfaction or an underwhelm or, things happening in a time or in a way that feels a bit uncomfortable or unsafe even. So we got the Three of Pentacles here. This is really cool because the Three of Pentacles, first of all, this is a triangle shape up here. I'm just kind of living for the triangle repeated theme here. But Three of Pentacles traditionally, first of all, the Pentacles is the slowest suit, right? This is all about, slower earth energy, right? Three of Pentacles is being compensated for the work that you in particular are good at, right? Let's look at this giraffe here. You do not mistake a giraffe for any other animal. You know what I'm saying? Some animals you gotta squint. Is that a stingray or is it a manta ray? Right? You can mistake one for the other. Not so with the giraffe. It's like, what is unique about you or the way that you see things or the way that you do your work, or what is it that you are here to say and share with the world, right? Getting very clear on that and then opening up the, frequency for you to be compensated for it, seen for it, appreciated for it, right? This is about sharing your gifts, right? Sometimes the work is about becoming clear on what those gifts are, but this is about sharing your gifts and getting, due compensation and appreciation for it, right? But I'm also really drawn to the slowness of this as well, how it's just reaching up into the branch at just the right spot, right? Also, the building a monument thing with all of the buried treasures in the sand and putting it up into a triangle shape. And then we have these Three Pentacles here. Interesting. There's this energy of there's been a lot of change, right? There's been a lot of change. Sometimes it can be helpful and necessary, right? There's this whole, I don't know, I feel like it's in a lot of commercials right now especially, but it's like, hey, the world's been through a lot of change, but buck up, we're gonna go forward anyway. Or the ever-loved, in this time of uncertainty, there's a lot that is, unknown, but come on down to the car lot because we've got a great, great deal for you. Prices have never been, it's a bit like swarmy manipulative a bit with the way that the commerce industry, don't even get me started, but how the commerce industry is taking this collective experience and using it to its gain and going, how can we spin this for income? It's a bit like, oh God, really? So goes the way of the world. But there is an aspect of, the counterintuitive response to that, which is like, I'm not gonna rush forward and go, I'm gonna make this work. I'm actually going to take some time and really give homage to all that I have lost. I'm going to give homage to the person that I was versus who I am now. I'm going to give homage to everything that I wanted that didn't work out. I'm going to give homage to every broken contract, to every failed relationship, to every money worry, to everything. I'm going to give homage to that. I can't tell you in this moment, Scorpios, why that feels so important and like there's something to it. Just that it feels like it's something about honoring what has been lost. That is able to, that promotes a certain ability to integrate it, right? And then walk forward on the path that forms as a result of paying homage. It's really interesting. It's the difference between dwelling in something or allowing your past pain to subconsciously influence your choices and going, no, I'm actually going to give homage to it. I'm going to go against what most people would do and bury it or subdue it or just try to talk it out in therapy so that I can be done with it. I just want to be over this already. I just want to feel better already. I just want to know what I'm doing already. It's like, let's build, let's pay, homage to all of this. Let's build a monument. It's so counterintuitive, right? Because intuitively it's like, no, I want to heal this. I want to get over it. I want to feel better. I want to leave this behind. But it feels like the opposite of your advice again, and it's not dwelling, right? It's acknowledging. And maybe there's hidden treasure in that. I feel like might be the point. So then you have the sun, which is, the happiest key in the whole deck, which I'm just really happy to see for you. So this is enlightenment, right? This is positivity. This is warmth. This is clear seeing, clear feeling. This is illumination, right? The highest point of illumination. Now, when we have the lemur come up here, right, which I'm so obsessed with this deck and the fact that the lemur is on this key, because this deck, just for a second, I'm going to gush over this deck. This is the Animal Totem Tarot by Leeza Robertson, and she blends together animal medicine from the shamanic tradition with the traditional, tarot, Rider Waite meaning. So it's so good and juicy. The lemur is about bringing together the head and the heart for conference, right? And going, hey head, hey heart, you both get equal talking time. I'm going to acknowledge and work with and listen to both of you in equal time and measure, right? And I'm not going to get up from the seated position until I do that. If it's harder for me to connect with my heart, I'm going to sit here and wait. You know what I mean? Until I do. Maybe the heart is more difficult to hear than your head at this point. Maybe it's in the reverse. But this is to bring together the heart and the head. But look at this. Look at this Zen reality. And we're talking about building a monument, right? And how there could be hidden treasure within doing that. Renewed perspective. Not that that's why you're doing it, but I feel like it's a happy outcome from it, right? Renewed perspective. A deeper sort of healing that comes because your intention isn't to heal, but it's just to acknowledge. Ooh, I got shivers. Wow. What is your intention indeed? Ooh. Yeah, Eight of Cups. And if that isn't what it is. Yeah, Eight of Cups. Hello and goodbye. So this is, hello, emotional freedom that comes from, allowing yourself to be moved onto more emotionally fulfilling shores. I mean that, because the river here says it really beautifully. It's a lot of times with this key, because traditionally this is someone like walking away from these cups that are in the foreground, like towards the ocean, like off into the distance. But I feel like this is a little more beautifully illustrated and a little more deep, because when we think about the moon, understanding that the moon is the moon and it wanes and waxes in its own time and at its own will, right? It simply is what it is. We can't try to change the moon. We just acknowledge what it is, right? And in terms of the salmon here, did you know that salmon swim against the current? Salmon swim against the current. I don't know if they're the only fish that does that, but if they're not the only, they're one of the very few that swim against the current, right? I do feel like there's a deeper meaning in this for you, right? Where it's not necessarily going, okay, I'm going to cleanse everything that is emotionally, you know, either holding me down or hurting me, or that's old residue or something I'm not over, I'm cleansing myself of this. I don't feel like that's what it is for you. And I love that this is fresh water. It's coming up outside of the meditation where I saw the ocean water at the shore. Fresh water with the crocodile here too in the river. So you have two rivers here, right? I feel like this is saying the river will continue to flow, but I feel like you're taking a moment, again, you're taking a moment or several moments, whatever have you, right? Where you're taking a moment or two to go, you know what? I'm hearing Stop This Train by John Mayer. Stop this train. I want to get off and go home again. Stop this train. And then there's a line in there that goes, you'll never stop this train. But it's interesting because you are taking this time, and this could take different time for different people. This is going to be very specific to and for you if this is for you, right? But I do feel like this is saying, like, I'm going to just take a moment and hold a memoriam for my own sadness, pain, and loss, right? And this feels important to me. It almost feels like a ritual. It feels like a ritual. And again, it feels so counterintuitive, right? It feels counterintuitive. Because especially within, you know, this culture and this day and age, there's such an emphasis to just like, what is that saying? Feel it to heal it? Well, healing's great, but why is that? What does that mean? What happens if I feel it and I still don't heal it? Does that mean I failed? Does that mean I didn't feel it correctly? What if I just feel it to feel it? How about removing the pressure to heal it? Right? Feel it to feel it. Hello. Right? Feel it because it is. Without placing any sort of like desired outcome or restrictions on it. How can we manage the healing process? That doesn't make any sense to me. The Empress. Hello and goodbye. You know, I love that you're getting a 3 with a 3 here. Okay, so I'm reminded of the triangle. So I'll talk a little bit more about that. The triangle, it's a perfect shape. For me, it represents mind, body, and spirit, balance, and connection, right? So it's really beautiful. It's having that sturdy foundation and then rising to that point, just like the pyramids, right? Where it's a perfectly standing and perfectly solid structure, right? It really is the perfect shape. The Empress here is so beautiful because this speaks of birthing, right, into your experience, birthing into the world what you have set in motion through manifestation. So think of it this way. The Magician is the masculine initial energy where, well, the Fool is the initial, but in terms of like energy. The masculine is that initial energy where you're the magician and you are getting clear on that intention of what you want and then using your tools at your disposal to start the process. Then we go into the High Priestess, which is taking the feminine with the balance aspect of that manifestation process and going, okay, now I'm going to search a little more deeper for any, you know, hidden information, the reality of what may come of this decision, getting very clear on if this is what, not just what I want, but if this is what is in my highest and best good. It's an ego check, right? Is this what my ego is saying? This is what my intuition is saying, right? It's connecting with the higher self. Okay, we're all good. Okay, on to the third step, which is the Empress, the pregnancy. This is going, I know that I've set all the wheels in motion to manifest what I desire, and now I'm waiting in happy expectation while it gestates within me pre-birth. Right? Don't a lot of people say that the best part of pregnancy is like getting to eat whatever you want and getting to move more slowly and getting to just like be who and how you are? There's something about that here for you, Scorpio. It really, really is. There's such an emphasis on healing it to heal it, or not, or not healing it to heal it, right? That's what we don't want to do, right? Feeling it to feel it. Feeling it just because it is, you know what I mean? I'm here to just resist that kind of urge and that natural instinct to just kind of go, oh, I want to feel better. I want to get over this. I want to move past it. I want to be in a new, right? Because there's something about if you drop any kind of like pressure around it or timeline or expectation around it yields a lot of fruit. I'm going with this like Empress thing. Is she holding a seashell? Queen is holding a conch shell. So I guess she's at the ocean then. Looks like a riverbank. Maybe it's both. Maybe it's a river that flows into an ocean. The sun. Hello. Oh, hello. Hello. Okay. So we have the Ace of Swords here to clarify the sun. This is a beautiful repetition of what's been said. So, Ace of Swords, traditionally speaking, this is big insights, huge clarity. Okay, this is the sort of truth, right? This is, I'm quite clear now, thank you. Which just lines up beautifully with this illumination feeling from the sun, right? You know, I do feel like there's another message in this that I feel like relates to the timing of the crocodile as well, where if you are able to come from this place of like, I'm seeing and coming from a place where I'm bringing together my heart and my head for counsel and not rushing the process. This lemur's not wearing a watch, just being exactly where you are for the sake of being where you are and understanding that a day well spent is simply participating in the day, whatever that looks like for you, right? And then we have, I feel like it's that sort of an aspect of the answers lie in the stillness, which is panda medicine, which also black and white here, right? The answers lie in the stillness. You know, this was a similar message in the Aquarius reading, actually. Maybe check that out if you have Aqua in your chart or you just fancy it. Also because there's a star on top of this Empress, which makes me think of the Aquarian energy too. Actually, watch the Aquarius reading. Because it is Aquarius season, there's going to be a lot of general themes that, you know, relate to the collective, because we're all going to be influenced by the Aquarius energy because we're in that season. I would definitely watch the Aquarius reading, okay? You know, I also feel like there's something about, you know, a message that you have to share with the world, or really refining like how you say things and your perspective on things. I feel like if you've been in a position where what you had to say is true and worthy and founded, that's beautiful. The question is, are you able to communicate it in a way where other people can receive it? Are you able to communicate it in a way where people who are less knowledgeable than you can receive it, less emotionally intelligent than you can receive it? Are you able to communicate in a way that, you know, people that are outside of your shared culture, experience, community can relate to? I don't think it's the message. I think it's the way in which it is communicated that has room for growth. So with the Eight of Cups here, we have the Two of Wands, ocean imagery here. It is a mermaid deck though, to be fair. We have the Two of Wands here. I'm really obsessed that we have a triangle here with the volcano, just triangle reading. Two of Wands, again, the Wands rule the realm of actions that we take. Two of Wands is very much about planning, getting together your blueprint, having that eye on the prize that you can move forward, right? But again, this is the stillness. This is not Three of Wands. This is not actively moving on anything. This is being exactly where you are, right? In the in-between. Why do I feel like this is the monument to your sadness and maybe your pain and your rage and your anger and your fear and your loss? This is literally the monument, and you're literally like, right? Paying it homage, building a monument just for the sake of doing it. And I feel like this smoke, right, is something that's going to be yielded from it that I feel like is a bit of a mystery. But I do feel like that's partly because it's going to be different for different people, right? But I feel like it's hidden treasure. There's hidden gifts within doing so. It could be for some of y'all that not doing so, or trying to heal it or deny it or keep it, you know, under wraps or in the past or whatever have you, is creating an energy block that is being a dam in this river, that is keeping you from going where you want to go, or keeping you from, you know, having clarity around something that you're working on, a relationship or your actual work or something in that way, right? This is really beautiful. I'm Scorpio, this is really beautiful. Let's get you an article. I feel like a shamanic for you, actually. Let's get to shamanic for you. You know, I don't feel like that's an accident. Well, I don't believe in coincidences either, but shamanic, that word feels incredibly important for you. In shamanic work, that very much involves going to the lower world, right? Which is basically the collective subconscious, right? And mining out what is hidden and easily seen. Oh my God, I'm reminded of crocodiles also relate to ancient Egypt, as do pyramids and triangles. Something about that, the past, Egypt. Interesting. You know, crocodile medicine, I'm hearing to talk about this briefly. Crocodile medicine is also about mental health and wellness and understanding that sometimes we need to not fear going crazy or being a little mad. And that mental health is all in the eye of the person, experiencer, right? There's something about mental health here that feels like it's at the theme of this. Maybe your work is related to mental health. Maybe you're in therapy. Maybe you're actively seeking, you know, therapeutic guidance or mental health practices or counseling or something like that. But again, with the Ace of Swords, how you communicate messages as well. But there is something about, you know, wounded healers still heal. The pain that you come from, the sadness, the loss, the anger, the rage that you've experienced, you are in a unique position to be able to counsel others who are also experiencing that because you have been there. I'm hearing a funny quote by David Bowie. Religion is for those who fear hell. Spirituality is for those who have been there. I just saw that and I was like, wait, that feels oddly like apropos here. But yeah, something about mental health and just acknowledging that, you know, mental health is what you make it. Mental health is specific to the individual, not buying into any kind of preconceived notions that you either learn from society, your parents, yourself, or you go, this is what mental wellness looks like. This is what operating to my fullest and best capacity looks like. I got to wake up at a certain time. I got to get my workout in. It's like, right? What is that? Shamanic work, going to the lower world and really, excavating what's there, right? Just for the sake of excavation. Ooh, the rainbow. Okay. So we have the fire, it's just fire actually. So it's fire and the rainbow. So I'm really loving this. So fire, yes, came up with the Two of Wands and the volcano here, right? So fire speaks about, you know, the cleansing agent that fire is, but it's largely about transformation, but it's also about sort of giving your attention to the aspects of yourself that want attention. So this is perfectly aligned with the message here, right? Also, I feel like there's another aspect of like whatever lights your fire, whatever triggers you, annoys you, you know, angers you, gets you excited, makes you want to really say something. There's really good information in that as well. Is that related to part of why you're here and the message that you had to share? Is there something that wants to be brought into the light within for yourself? There's hidden gems there. That's fire. What fuels you, right? What activates you? Beautiful. Also, this huge healing cleansing agent. Salt water cleanses and so does fire. Right? What do they say? Trial by fire. Then we have the beautiful rainbow here, which is really, really beautiful. You know, the rainbow is very much about balance and alignment as it equates to the chakra systems, but so is the triangle. I keep going back to this, right? This triangle aspect of mind, body, spirit balance, right? But I feel like you are able to, can you renegotiate your experience or your, what is the word? Can you renegotiate your perception of what a day well spent looks like? Can you renegotiate with yourself what healing looks like, what manifestation looks like, what your relationships look like, what your pain looks like? This is really beautiful, Scorpio, and I do feel like the emphasis is rather on the rainbow too, in terms of the rainbow is the result of not having any skeletons in the closet. It's the result of building that monument, not because you want to heal it or get rid of it, just because. Because why does our happiness and everything that has gone right deserve more time and homage than the things that have gone wrong and have hurt us? Why? Is that toxic positivity? What is that? What is that? Isn't pain and loss just as much of the human experience as joy and happiness? Something to think about. Anyhow, Scorpio, this is your February general reading. I so hope that this helped and resonated. If so, please do let me know in the comments below. I love reading your comments. So just thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, and most of all, thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.